right, so Canon are releasing a new RF lens. It's the 28-70 f2.8 IS STM lens. I've got it right here. You can see it's really quite small. It's very lightweight as well. It's incredibly light in the hand. And this, I think, is a really cool little lens because I think it appeals to so many different people. And it appeals, I think, specifically to people who have a kit lens already. Maybe you start your photography journey and you are feeling the need to upgrade. Maybe you've already gone down the nifty 50 route, right? A 50mm f1.8, but you want a nice zoom lens. Maybe you want that f2.8 aperture, but you just don't want to spend the kind of premium money that you're going to spend on an L lens, right? An f2.8 24-70 L lens, which is a beautiful lens, but it does come with a bit of a premium price tag. This is a much more affordable way to get that f2.8 aperture, to get a nice standard zoom, 28-70, so not 24, it's not going quite as wide, but I think a lot of photographers are going to be probably okay with that, losing that little bit on the wide end. I think you probably feel it a little bit more on the wide end, but you know, that's going to depend on the kind of photography that you want to do. But getting that, like I say, nice fast aperture in a small lightweight lens like this. Now, to keep it nice and small, there are things like an external zoom, which I think probably makes sense. But if you pop this on the front of something like an R6 II, right? Or the original R6 or something like that, you're going to have such a nice compact system that is then able to take very lovely photos. The image quality from this lens is actually really, really nice. It may not be an L lens, but you're still able to capture some really beautiful images. You get those lovely Canon colors. It's such a great all-rounder focal length as well. Like I say, you're losing that 4mm in the wide end, but other than that, you are able to do so much with a lens like this. And with a nice fast aperture, you've got the ability to shoot in lower light. You can get some nice blurred backgrounds. There's loads that you can do with it. In some ways, it feels like the kind of trade-off you get with the f4 lens, where actually that's the kind of lens I recommend for most people, because I think generally speaking, they're fantastic lenses at a bit of a lower cost and they're usually a bit lighter and stuff like that. That's basically how this feels. It's just it's f2.8 instead of f4. It's an IS lens as well, so you've got 5.5 stops of optical image stabilization in the lens, which is such a great thing to see because a lot of people coming from their kit lens, for example, which a lot of them will have image stabilization, will be looking for that in a zoom lens. So I think that's really nice to see in this lens. You don't always see that at this kind of focal range. And then you combine that with the image stabilization in some of the cameras, that's going to bump it up to 7.5 stops. That means you can use this for handheld video. You can use this with slow shutter speeds. It just increases the kind of versatility of the lens. I love seeing lenses like this. I think it can be really easy to get carried away with being excited about the latest L lens, right? What is the latest super crazy lens that Canon are bringing out? And they have brought out some pretty impressive lenses. But I love to see a lens which is very specifically designed with kind of everyone else in mind, right? Not necessarily all of just the professional photographers. You know, this is a lens that if you're an amateur photographer, if you've been shooting for a while and you want to get a nice zoom lens, but you don't really want to spend out all that money for an L lens. And actually, even if you're someone who's doing a bit of video or starting to go maybe a little bit semi-pro, or you want to take things a bit more seriously, this is a lens that's for so many different types of people because it's so versatile and so much more affordable. A great option to have in your kit bag for all kinds of stuff. And it's the kind of thing, you know, you take this with something like your R6 II, something like that, you're gonna be able to cover so much of the kind of photography spectrum. If you're going traveling or something like that, you could absolutely just take that. And it's a nice small setup, great image quality, lovely. You can check out the full spec of this lens, all the interesting stuff, all the fun stuff that you want to know about by following the link down in the description. We'll pop that all down there. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, so there's new content all the time. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, as always, thanks for watching.